Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so sorry for delay. So now we'll start. So let's go.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
So basically today's session I will try to discuss about that how we can easily create that art engine apps using JavaScript, and using these apps how we can easily monitor the water quality, different types of parameter such as pH as well as also BOD, total suspended solid, as well as also other parameter how we can easily monitor using this web application. Okay, so basically in the art
Okay.
engine web application we find out this type of widget. So here you can see this type of widget, we can get the date slider. Okay, so from this date slider we can easily select our specific time range, as well as also we can draw our study area and also select our parameter, which parameter I want to need, and we can get this type of button, as well as also we can see it about the legend bar and this type of things. Also you can get the time series chart about that. Okay, so today's session I will try to explain that how we can easily create this type of web application, and using this web application how we can easily monitor the water quality parameters such as pH, total suspended solid, or other. So let's go. I will explain one by one all of those things. So here you can see this is the code I already write in here. So in this code I will try to explain, and further I will try to discuss about that. So here you can see, first of all you can get this type of date slider. Okay, so this is the date slider. From the date slider we can easily select our specific range of time. Suppose I need the month of January or any specific month, summer season, rainy season. So just I simply put the start date. Suppose this is my start date, and further I just put here the end date. Okay, so you can simply put your start date and end date. Further you can grow your ROI. Suppose you can see I just simply clear all of those things. Suppose this is my water body. So just I simply draw the ROI and then simply draw my study area. Suppose this is my study area of water body.
Mhm.
I simply draw it. Further, which parameter I want to calculate. So you can see different types of parameter: turbidity, chlorophyll, total suspended solid, then salinity, then temperature, then BOD, then pH, then total carbon. So all of those things we already added in our code. So already added in the back in the code. So further, when I select a specific parameter, suppose I need for that salinity, and then further submit. So now it calculate about that salinity for this water body. We can easily get it. Where is the high condition, where is the low condition about the salinity. We can easily detect using this parameter. So you can see now it create this map, this type of salinity map. We can easily create, and we can get the this type of salinity uh, time series. So different types of what is the condition about the salinity index. We can easily get it from here. Suppose I need the another parameter, just simply click on here. I simply select suppose BOD, biochemical
Mhm.
oxygen demand. So just click on the submit. So now it create the map for BOD, milligram per liter. We can get this type of result for the BOD, as well as also make the time series chart. You can see it create this type of time series chart, as well as it also show some animation about the changing animation, and this is the legend bar about this. Suppose I want to check about that pH, just click on the pH and submit. So now it show about the what is the condition about the power of hydrogen, mainly pH, and where is the high, where is the low. You can easily get it for that. So here you can see it can get this type of result. So this is the pH for this water body. We can easily get it, as well as also you can see it show about that this type of time series chart pH value for the different time. Sometime it show about the acidic, sometime it show about the alkyne. So this type of things we can easily observe from this time series chart from here, as well as any parameter you can simply select and it will work. Suppose I simply click on the water marks. So now it show only for the water body. Just I simply click on the submit.
How does the pH scale work? I noticed on the lower end it said negative, like negative 4 point
Okay,
something.
negative is mainly it's indicating about the acidic or acidity in the for water. Okay,
So it's not on a 0 to 14 scale?
yes.
Okay.
So in the water body, we can get this type of acidic when we can get that negative value of pH. So it indicating about the strong acidic, strong, very very strong acidic water. Okay?
Okay.
And 7 is the neutral. And then further, when it increasing, we can also increase about the alkyne value one by one, one by one. So more
Okay.
positive value indicating about the more than 7, positive value indicating about that alkyne about that. Okay, and lower the 7 we can get the acidic, and also more lower minus or negative, it indicating about the more strong acidic.
Okay. Got it.
So further you can see we can get this type of watermarks. Okay, further suppose I want to select about that total suspended solid to submit. So now it calculate about the total suspended solid for this water body, and also create this map, and we can easily get it the time series chart. From the time series chart we can easily get it from here. So we can see we can easily get it the time series chart. When it will be how you can easily get it from here. Okay. Also you can see this. You can also download the time series chart from here also. Download the time series chart. Okay. So now we talk about that how we can easily create this type of web application. Suppose here you can see the this type of start date, date slider, or in date. This type of things how I can create in the new web application. So for that, I just simply open a new code editor, and in this new code editor, I write all of code one by one. So then I hope we can easily get this idea how we can create this type of web application. Okay. So let's just simply start from here. So in this code here you can see first of all here you can see we can get this type of white color background panel. Okay, so it's called the panel. Okay, white color background, it's called the panel. In this panel we find out some text such as select start date, and then they get the date slider. Okay, then select in date and get the date slider. So let's go, we try to create a panel. Okay, so how I can
Okay.
create this type of panel? So for creating the panel, we are just take a variable. Suppose I take a variable. Suppose I just increase my font size. Let's just say take a variable. Suppose panel. Okay. So then UI, I put the equal sign and put the function UI user interface dot panel. Okay. So this is the function user interface panel. It create the panel. Okay, this type of
Okay.
white color background panel it created. So just I simply create this panel, and further I just simply put the style. Okay, suppose panel height, panel width. So I simply set it. So for doing these things, just I simply call this variable name panel, and in this panel I just simply set some style. So just put here the style function style, and I want to set. So I want to set suppose width. Okay, suppose I put set the width of the panel is that 300 pixel. Okay, 300 pixel. So first of all I just create a panel, and further I define the style and set the width 300 pixel of this panel. Okay,
Okay.
so now further I want to add this panel on my map. So for doing this thing I simply put at the UI dot root dot add. I simply call this variable name panel. So simply copy and paste here, and now click to the run. You can see it show this type of white color background panel. Okay, we can get this type of panel, white color background panel. So in this time you
Okay.
can simply decreasing the, suppose I simply decrease it 200 pixel. So now it also decrease this the panel size, or I put here that suppose 500 or 600. So now it will increasing the size. Okay, so now further I suppose I put here the 300 pixel, it's more better. Okay, so now I create this panel, and in this panel I want to add some text. Suppose here you can see in my web application I need to add the select start date. So this is the text. This text I want to add on my panel. Okay, so what can I do for that? For that I simply call my panel. Okay, so basically this variable name. This variable I simply call the panel, and in this panel I want to add. Just put at the add function, and what I add? I want to add a label. Label means text. I want to add a text. So for the label, I put here the UI dot label, and further I put here the label. Suppose I put the label is that select start date. Okay. So now we can see when I click run the code, it also added this type of text. Select start date. Okay. So this type of things also added in my web application. Select start date. Okay. So second portion here you can see it's called the date slider. Okay. So using the date slider, we have to easily set our specific time period for the first date or start date. Okay. So now I need a date slider. So how I can create the date slider? So let's go try to write the code for the date slider. For the date slider, I just take a variable. Suppose I put the variable name is that date 1, and then I use the function UI dot date slider. This is the function UI dot date slider. This function may create the date slider. Okay. So now we try to put here all of argument one by one. So first of all, here you can see the argument is that start and end. So just I make a dictionary. So just put here the curly bracket start and also curly bracket in here. Just I make a dictionary. In the dictionary, I just put the keyword and key value. Suppose start. So in this time in the start, we are just put here the start date. Suppose I put the start date is that suppose I put the date look like that 01 01 suppose 2018. So this is my start date of the date slider, and also define the end date. So for the end date, I put here that EE dot date, and then put here that date now. Okay, so this is the function date now function. Basically when I put here the now function, it show about the present time. Okay, so here you can see in my in here it show. Suppose I just click on here, in this time it show about that okay, just I run the code again, then it's more better. Suppose I run the code.
Oh, the end date is whenever the person uses it.
Yes, automatically show
Okay.
about that update date. Suppose for the present date, suppose here I can see show about that 07/08/2024. Okay, so this is that update date. Update it automatically updating. You can see about this calendar. It automatically show about that update date from here, because I put here the in date as the EE date, date now. Okay, so this function help me to get that present date or update date. We can easily get it from here. Okay.
Okay.
Further, this type of thing is not need. We are just including only for the style. Just I remove it, did not need. I just simply put the style is that. So just I simply put here the style. I just make a dictionary. In this style, I put the width. Width suppose of the date slider. Suppose 270 pixel. Okay, just it width about the date slider. So now I create this date slider. Okay, so this variable stored the date slider. This date slider I want to add on this panel. Okay, this is my panel. This panel I want to add. So for that, what can I do? I simply call my panel dot add and call the date 1. This variable, copy and paste it. So now click the run. So now let's check what happened. Okay, so here you can see it perfectly added a date slider. So using this date slider, we can easily select our specific time, and you can see you can get this type of 2017. Okay? And 2018, it will be start from the 2018 basically, because here I put the time period 2018. Okay? 2018 1st January. So that's why we can get the result from year of 2018. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, just I need to. Okay, so here you can see we can get the result look like that. 1st January 2018. Okay, because I put the time look like that, so that's why in my date slider we can select our time from 2018. 2018 we can easily select from here our time period. Suppose I need the result 2018 January, then I simply put at that 1st January. Okay, so this may start time. You can see it select the start time. So this is the same process we also apply for the in date. Okay, so this is my start date and then put the in date. So for the in date, what we can do? For that, you can see we need to add a text. In date, select in date. We need to add in here. So for that, I just take a same things. Suppose just put at the call the panel and then put at the add. And what I add, I want to add a label. So just put at the user interface label and I put the label name. Suppose I put the label name is that um, select in date. So just put here the select in date. Okay, so now click to and further click to the run. So now here you can see it added this in date. So you can see you can get the in date. So now we need to add the another date slider for the in date. So for doing this thing, just I take a variable. Suppose I put the variable name is that date 2 and then I put at the UI dot date slider dot I just put at the this type of thing. Suppose one is the start and then put at the in. So same process I simply apply. Just I copy the same things from here. It also better. Just simply copy and then paste. Just paste here. So for that just put at the panel and then add. I simply call the date 2. Simply copy and paste here. So now click to the run. So now it's added the another date slider on our interface. We can easily get it. So here you can see it added the two date slider. One is that start the start date, select the start date, another is the end date. So users can easily select the start date from here as well as also select the end date from here. Okay, and then they can easily make this type of a specific water quality parameter for a specific time period. They can easily monitor. Okay, so after doing these things also you can see we can get this type of things. It's called the region of interest. Okay, this is the text. So this text we can easily add it in our code. So for that just simply put here that u panel. So just I call the panel in here. Just take a label. Suppose I simply put here that panel dot add. I want to add a label. So ui dot label and I put the label. So in this time my label is that region of interest. I simply copy it and then just simply copy and then paste here. Alright. So now click the run. So now it also added the another label region of interest. Okay. So here you can see we can get it region of interest. Okay. So in this time here you can see in my web application in the corner you can see there is no geometry symbol such as point, marker or rectangle. There is nothing about that. Also you can see, but in this time here you can see this type of things is the available. The hand tool, marker, also you can see about that draw line or this type of poly shape or rectangle is available. But in this code there is nothing. So now I want to remove. Okay, so I want to remove this type of things. This type of things I want to remove from here. So how I can remove? So let's go. Just I want to remove all of those things. Okay, then it also look more better because in my web application don't need this type of things because I can easily draw my study area from here. I just click on here and draw my study area. So that's why this type of things I don't need. So that's why from my user interface I want to remove this type of hand tool, marker, line, this type of things I want to remove from here. For removing these things, what can I do? Just I simply put here one variable. Suppose I put the variable name is that, suppose take a variable. I put the variable name is that drawing tools. Suppose drawing tools I put here, and then further just equal sign and use a function. This function called the map dot drawings tools. There's a drawing, yeah, drawing tools. Okay, I create this function, and further I simply call this variable name drawing tools, and put here that set shown. I put here that false.
Okay.
Click to the run. So now I can see here on the code again. So now you can see there is nothing about that. Okay. So when I add this port, mainly drawing tools, map dot drawing tools, and I put here the set shown as a false, then there is nothing about this type of things. It will be removed. So now it no show about it. So just I put here the true. So now I can see it also again showing here in my map. So it loaded. So you can see training here. Okay. But when I put here the false, just put here the false. So now all of drawing tools will be removed from my user interface.
Okay.
Okay, so after doing these things, we have to add some geometry. Okay, so basically we are just creating a function. This function clear the geometry, all of layer. Suppose here you can see it also show about a button clear map. So when I click on the clear map button, all of those things will be removed from here. Okay, all of layer. Suppose I add the lot of layer. So when I click on the clear map, all of layer will be removed, and we can get the totally new interface. For doing these things, we have to add the another thing. Suppose,
But the little things on the top left, why did those appear too when you put clear map? I thought you eliminated them in the code.
in here. Okay, so in this time we draw the ROI. Okay, basically draw ROI. When I click on here, you can see I just click. Suppose this is my water body. I created draw ROI, and I simply click on the suppose turbidity. So select the submit. So now I can see it worked for this ROI which I draw in here. Further, when I click on the clear map, then this layer also removed from here. Then I easily select the another study area. Okay, another shape, another boundary, or another region of interest. So just
This isn't the code you're doing right now, right?
yes. So I
This
want
is
to
the
just
other
follow
one.
this all
Okay.
of things and try to make this web application in the another code.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, so now here you can see we are just trying to add the clear region of interest. We simply select in here. So for doing these things, just create a function. Suppose I put the function variable name is that clear geometry, and further I make a curly bracket. Clear geometry equal, I put at this function, and then I take a variable, suppose layers equal, I call this drawing tools, this variable, and paste here, and put at that layers, and further layers dot get 0, mainly it take the first 0, refer to the first item, and dot geometries I want it will be removed, so just put at the remove function, remove, then put at that layers get again first layer, so 0, then put at the dot geometries dot get. Okay, so this is the function we create, and in this function mainly it define about that clear geometry. Okay, so just I simply call this clear geometry, this variable name, and paste here. And now I want to drawing the rectangle. Suppose here you can see when I click on this draw ROI, suppose draw the ROI, it create the rectangle. You can easily create the rectangle. Okay, so these type of things I want to create. Okay. For doing these things, just take a variable. Suppose I put the variable name is that draw rectangle equal function keyword, and further in this curly bracket I just call this one clear geometry which I already created. So just I simply call this function variable name clear geometry and paste here, and further just call the drawing tools. I already defined the drawing tools in here, drawing tools. So just I paste here the drawing tools, and these drawing tools I add a set shape. So just I put at the set shape. Suppose I need the rectangle shape of the drawing tools, just put at the rectangle.
Okay.
Okay, and then further put here the drawing tools dot draw.
Okay.
So now click to the run. Okay, so now we create the draw, and now I want to add a button. For adding this button, basically this type of draw ROI, this type of things I want to add in here. So for doing these things, we will just take a variable. Suppose I put the variable name is that, and before that it create a function. Suppose just take a variable, and here you can see another thing is that I run the code again. For better, run the code. In this code, here you can see when I run the draw ROI, just you can see when I click on the draw ROI, it creates the another panel. You can see it creates the another panel. Okay, so when I click the draw ROI, it creates the another panel. So when I click on the draw ROI, it creates the another panel. So just I click on here again, run the code. Just I click on the draw ROI, it creates the another panel. Suppose, okay, let me show again. Suppose here you can see when I click on this button, draw ROI, it creates another panel. Okay?
Why?
Because in this time we also set this code look like that, because I need to add the legend bar, I need to add that animation, or need to add the time series chart. Okay, suppose any users when they select the study area, Suppose I run the code again. Loaded. Suppose I just select on the draw ROI. You can see when I click on the draw ROI, it creates another panel. And this panel show me the legend, then show me the animation, show me the time series chart. So all of information also added in this panel. And this panel will be appear when I click on the draw ROI. Okay, so let me do write the code in here. So in this time, I need to create this type of panel first. Also, I need to create the panel. Okay, and when anyone click on this button, it creates this type of panel. So let's go try to write this type of code. So for doing these things, we are just put here. Take another panel. So just I put at the panel R mainly we can put at any name, no problem. And then for that UI dot panel, and further we set the panel style. So just I call the panel R, simply copy and paste here, and then put here the style, and put here the set, and in this I simply put the width. Suppose I put here this width. Suppose I put here the 250 pixel, and also set the position. Suppose I set the position. Suppose put here the middle left, okay, middle left. I put in here. Set the position. Okay. So now I create the another panel. Okay, but this panel appear in this left side. Okay, when I click on this button, suppose this type of button, when I click, then it's showing the left side. So let's go try to write the code. So after creating the panel, we just take a variable. Suppose we just create a button. Suppose draw and equal. Just put here the UI dot button. Okay, so first of all, we are just put here that button label. Okay, just I click on the, I just make a dictionary. So first of all, label. So label is the name of this button. Okay, so here you can see my button name is that draw ROI. So this button name is the draw ROI. So just I put here the same button name. Suppose I put the button name is that draw ROI. Okay. Then further we are put here that style. Okay, suppose I put here that, okay, first of all on click. So just I put here the on click, or okay, just put here the on click. So on click means that when I click on this button, what happened? Suppose when I click on this button, what happened? It's the on click. Suppose in this time, what happened? When I click on this button, a new panel also added in the left side. Okay, so this is the on click function. Suppose here you can see when I click on this button, draw ROI, it creates the new panel. So it control from the on click function. So when I click on this button, what happened? Okay, so I set it now. So for doing these things, on click, in the on click we create a function. So just I put it that on click, I create a function, and further in this function we are just put at the curly bracket. In this curly bracket, I put my argument, what happened when I click on the on click function. So it create when I click, it make a draw rectangle. So just I call the draw rectangle. I already create draw rectangle function. I simply call, just paste here. Okay, and further I define their place. So just put here UI dot root dot insert. Put here the 0, and also add here that panel R. So this I already created the panel R because I want to need when I click on this button, it show the panel on the left side. So just I put here this variable, okay, panel R. And further, it not need, I remove that. We also set about the style.
So with that variable, I can draw the rectangle for my area and the panel shows up at the same
Yes,
time.
yes, yes.
Okay.
And further style, in the style we have just put here the button style. Suppose I just stressing in the horizontal. So for that, I create here the button style, stressing as a, sorry,
If you don't stretch, will it be like a square or something?
not the problem. Okay, so this on click, we put it the on click, okay, and then style, stressing. I think some mistake in here. So you have to add the another square bracket. Okay, so that's now. And now this button I want to add on this panel. So for that I simply call my variable name panel because I already create the panel variable and add this button. So just I simply call this variable draw r1 and so now click the run. In this time it added the button. Basically this button name is the draw ry. So here you can see it create this type of button. Okay, it's a button. And you can see when I click on this button, what happened? Just click, added the new panel. Okay, just I click, it added the new panel. So because I add look like these things in here. So now I run the code again. So now this step is also done. And now I want to add some other user interface. Such as here you can see, it show about that this is the text about the calculation to be performed. So just I simply copy this text. It's a text. So I want to add this text. For adding the text, what can we do? Same process. Just simply call the panel dot add. What I want to add? I want to add UI dot label and put here these things. So now click the run. So now it added the calculation to be performed. This text also added in my panel. So here you can see it's added. Okay. So now further I want to add this type of things. Suppose here you can see um, it's show about the drop down menu. Okay, drop down menu. Okay, turbidity, chlorophyll, total suspended solid, RG. So this is the drop down menu I want to create. So users can easily select their own parameter and they can easily monitor the water quality for this specific parameter. Okay, so now we create this type of drop down menu. So let's go try to create the drop down menu. So for creating the drop down menu, we have to use a function. It's called the UI select function. UI select function. So for doing these things, we are just take a variable. Suppose I put the variable name is that items. In this items variable, I just make a list all of parameter. Suppose I make the list all of parameters. Suppose star bdt. Then I put here the suppose another is that chlorophyll. Suppose all parameters. Suppose I put here that TSS, total suspended solid. I put here suppose BOD. I put here suppose COD. Mainly which parameter you want to add. Suppose I want to add here that pH. I want to add for suppose salinity. I want to add for temperature. I want to add for suppose any other parameter we can easily add in here. or I put here the total carbon, mainly TC. So which parameter you want to add, just simply write their name, okay,
Okay.
in a list. So now further we try to add it as a drop down menu. For creating the drop down menu, we just take a variable. Suppose I put the variable name is that, suppose I put the my select item, or you can put any variable name,
Mm-hmm.
equal, I put at the UI dot select. Okay, so basically this function UI dot select create the drop down menu. Okay, and in the drop down menu, which parameter I want to add, I want to add all of parameter. It is stored in this variable. I simply copy it
Okay.
and paste here.
Mm-hmm.
So now it will add in here.
Okay.
After doing these things, here you can see it also show about that. uh okay, so I run the code again and do that. Placeholder. Okay, suppose it's called the placeholder. You can see about that, it show about that this type of text in here. Select calculation value. Okay, so select calculation value,
Okay.
it's one kind of placeholder. So I want to, this is the text about that select calculation value. So from click on here, we can easily select our specific parameter. Okay, so now
Mm-hmm.
this select calculation value I'm going to add in here. So for doing this thing, so you have to add the placeholder. So for adding the placeholder, just I put the comma sign and put the text which I want to add in here. Suppose I put here the select calculation value. So now after doing these things, we need to add with our panel. So this is the drop down menu I created. I want to add in my panel. So I already create the panel. So just I put here that panel dot add and call the my select item. Simply copy and paste it. So now let's check what happened. Click the run. So now this drop down menu is also added. So here you can see, yeah. So where is it? So just like this side, yeah. So here you can see it's about the select calculation value. Okay. So now from here you can see
Mm-hmm.
the BOD, the chlorophyll, TSS, COD, PS, salinity. So all of parameter
Okay.
which you add in your list, it shows as a drop down menu. So this is the process about the drop down menu. Oh, so now here you can see about the another things is that it about that it's another kind of run button. Run will, it's text. Okay, so it's a text. We can easily add the text. So just I want to add
Mm-hmm.
in here. So for that, just put here panel dot add. I want to add a label. So UI dot label. I put the label name run. So click to run. So now it also added this text. Okay. So now further again, so we can get this type of text in here as a run. Okay, and further if you want, you can also see the two button, submit button and clear map. So this two button is very important because when I click on the submit, then all of those things will be happened. Suppose it show about the legend, it show about the chlorophyll animation or time series chart,
Mm-hmm.
everything is really happen when I click on the submit button. So this button is very important. Okay, let me show you that again. So just run the code. So from here, we simply set the time period again. Suppose I put this time period is that year of 2023 January.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose 1st January.